World megastar, Dr. the Dame, Edna Everett.
Hello, possums. I feel like a pea. I really do. I feel like a sweet pea. I've just come straight from a very successful appointment with my gynecologist. It was all very dramatic to begin with. For a moment there, he thought he might have found something wrong. And all of a sudden I had a whole horde of specialists swarming all over me. And at the end of the examination I said, "Well, doctors, what's the verdict?" And they said, "Oh, we'll tell your private physician." I said, "I'm not leaving here until you've all given me the thumbs up." And 10 minutes later, I stepped into my limo, a very happy woman. By the way, my name is Dame Edna Everett, mother, megastar, and Melbourne millionaires. I know a lot of you are wondering what someone as rich and talented as myself is doing at a rather nondescript little combined birthday celebration. And the reason is very, very simple. I have known the birthday girl and the birthday boy since they were little wee buggers. Little Aly, bless her heart, she grew up right next door to me and my late husband Norm in Melbourne, didn't you, darling?
Where did you grow up?
Norm and I used to babysit Aly. And from when she was just a baby, right up into her teenage years. And she was such a great bookworm. Night after night, I would go in and check on her, and she was always under the bedspread with a torch. Those beautiful, long, fiery locks that you see on her today, they were even longer back then. Aly used to just let her hair grow and grow. In fact, in her adolescent years, she started to grow hair she could sit on. I wish I could grow my hair that long. A lot of people assume that I dye my hair. I don't. This is its natural colour. I am the only woman in the world who has a mauve bikini line. As for my little Jay bird, Jay's family lived in the same neighbourhood. His parents used to belong to a bit of a strange Christian community, but we became very good friends. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against Christianity. I've seen the Shroud of Turin. I have, and I'm convinced that it's authentic. I don't believe that it's an old dishcloth with a picture of Billy Connolly on it. There's something a lot of people don't know about Jay. Jay, because he's a modest little darling. Not the sort of person to toot your own horn at his contact. But what many people don't know is that Jay is big. Over the years, he's recorded a whole lot of easy listening solo drumming albums titled Djembe by Candlelight. Volumes 1 to 5. Most of them have topped the charts in Germany. Which takes me back to a very special memory of mine. And I'm getting a little sentimental here. Exactly 40 years ago, to this day, something quite spooky happened. In those days I was a bit of a psychic. I was into something very special back then, something called necromancy. I was able to read the future from a kiddie's nappy. People used to bring their children to me for a reading. And one day there was a little tap on the kitchen door, and it was Jay's father, carrying his newborn son. And with just the release of a safety pin, little Jay's future was unfurled before me. I didn't study it too carefully, but I went through the motions. And I saw Jay's chart success. I saw a lot of number ones. And I also saw the occasional number 2. In 1995, when Jay and Aly were in their 20s, my late husband, Norm, was diagnosed with a rare prostate condition. I have had my husband's prostate hanging over my head for many, many years. It was once known as a rumbling prostate. In the beginning it was just a murmur, but after about 6 months the neighbours started complaining. And there's something I'm particularly grateful to Aly for. Because by some wonderful coincidence, the very same week that Norm was no longer able to cope at home and was airlifted to hospital in the Qantas Air ambulance, Aly completed her nursing diploma. So Aly ended up being my husband's nurse, which was perfect. And during that period of time, while I was performing sellout shows overseas, Norm and Aly became very close. Very close indeed. In fact, Aly was my husband's right hand for a very, very long When Norm finally did pass away, we had a large stone monument erected for him in the cemetery. But I had signed away so many of his vital organs for donation that I frankly thought the funeral was a waste of money. It probably would have been more sensible to just pop him in the microwave. I actually wish I had done it in my own kitchen. What woman doesn't? But getting back to Jay and Aly, these two little treasures have always brought out the mother in me. They have. And when they felt the need to spread their little wings and leave Melbourne for greener pastures, I was left with an emptiness in my heart. And I have had to fill. I have had to find something to fill that internal void. And it was actually just a month ago, as I was in the cemetery, buffing at my husband's obelisk.